所詮人間混乱してろ。
Let go of your Harry Potter fantasies and heroes' journeys where characters gradually learn how to control their power. Because in anime, these characters land on the world with their fists burning and magic sources overflowing. You'll know what I mean. In this video, we're going to speak of 10 overpowered magic users in anime. More videos are coming up, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button and bell notification icon to be instantly updated about all our future content. Now, let's see who these magical Sasukes are. Number 10. Roy Mustang, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Roy Mustang is the Levi of Full Metal Alchemist. Pyromancers are always cool with their power, but Roy manages to take it to a whole new level. He was considered as a hero during the Civil War, and even among the elite alchemists, Roy is considered to be one of the strongest. He wears custom gloves made with pyrotex or ignition cloth, and as he rubs the fingers, the rubber ignites flames that he can use against his opponents. This is done by the transmutation circles, which have the ability to absorb oxygen in the air and use it to generate flames. Roy has shown his strength over and over again, but the time he explicitly proved it was in his battle with the homunculi Lust. Number 9. Reinhard van Astrea, Re:Zero. With flaming red hair and sparkling blue eyes, this man can bring down even the toughest beasts of the world with a single sword strike. Reinhard is one of the Royal Knights, and he has mentioned that his specialty is fighting monsters. But I don't think fighting should be the right word when you unleash loads of magical explosions with each strike from your sword. In the second season of Re:Zero, it was even shown that he came face to face with Puck and killed him off with a single shot. He has the ability of the Sword Saint, as well as the divine protection of the Sword Saint, which he has inherited. And when it comes to his defense, he has the ability to wish for any divine protection he wants. I think that's the best defense you can have in the world. Number 8. Natsu Dragon Reel, Fairy Tail. Before moving off to the next character, let's take a look at another pyromancer. Natsu is the main protagonist of Fairy Tail after Lucy, and a person who showed his power from the very first episode of the anime itself. He is the younger brother of Zeref Dragonreel and possesses Fire Dragon Slayer magic. The heat of the fire is based on his emotions, so the more angry he is, the more powerful the blast of fire is. Being a fire user, Natsu is naturally resistant to all types of fire attacks, including explosions and fire damage. His attacks come with several variations, including the Fire Dragon Roar, Fire Dragon Fists, Fire Dragon Claw, and Fire Dragon's Flame Elbow. He later even mastered Dragon Slayer's secret art, which allowed him to cast even more powerful attacks. Number 7. Glenn Radar's Akashic Records of Bastard Magical Instructor. This magical professor seems to have more power than any of his students. Unlike most others on the list, Glenn uses his magical power for melee combat. One of his most common attacks is the magical punch, where he tricks his opponent, spins his fist around as a distraction, only to kick his enemy. And even though he has third-rate magic, this doesn't mean he's weak compared to others. In fact, it's the exact opposite. He has a well-known knowledge about magic, its effects, as well as spells. He also has the power of pain tolerance, where he can survive multiple wounds and attack without losing the motivation to fight. In short, he's the best magical instructor you will ever have. Number 6. Rimuru Tempest. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. When talking about overpowered magic users, it would almost be a crime if we don't include Rimuru Tempest. Rimuru as a slime is a monster who can adapt to any environment and doesn't need to eat, breathe, or sleep. After his encounter with the dragon, he transformed into a great sage and received immense magical powers with increased offense and defense. He has both common and unique magical ability deviations I can't even count. Some of the most popular ones are Coercion, which allows him to intimidate his opponents, Sense Soundwave, a power that allows him to attack with ultrasonic sound waves, and Lord of Wisdom, the power of enhanced intellect. If you thought slimes are the weakest enemy in the RPG you're playing, then now's the time to think twice, turn back, and start running. Number 5. Iru Echevalier, Knights and Magic. What happens if you give a nerd magic powers? That's Iru Echevalier. In his previous world, Tsubasa Kurata is a huge mecha fan and an otaku, is transported to this world and gets reincarnated as a noble named Iru Echevalier. With his otaku knowledge plus his skills combined, it is up to Iru to now join with the knights to defend the kingdom. The secret to Iru's power is the parallels between his current world's magic and his previous world's programming. He is able to easily manipulate the current world's magic to create ingenious weapons and cast powerful attacks via these. He is also smart and has a great intellect, so he knows how to use his power wisely, and that makes him all the more powerful. Number 4. Akatsuki Osawa, Aesthetic of a Rogue Hero. Here's a chivalrous knight transported to a magical fantasy world. Before being summoned into the isekai world, Akatsuki was not only at his peak strength, but was also a master combatant. Akatsuki barely has any magical skills at all, but he is skilled in Renkankei Kiko, which is the ability to control one's energy. Even though the full nature of his power hasn't been revealed, it's pretty much obvious that Akatsuki is one of the strongest in the world. His power is similar to Natsu and comes in several variations, including Vivification, Energy Bomb, and even an unnamed ultimate technique. Combine that with his martial arts techniques and you've got one of the most powerful melee combat magic users in the world. Number 3. Shin Wolford, Wise Man's Grandchild. This grandchild isn't just a kid in a nice costume. As shown in the anime over and over again, Shin Wolford is one of the strongest magic users in the world. When a young Japanese salaryman is reborn in the fantasy world, he is recruited by that world's most powerful magician, Merlin Wolford. Merlin teaches Shin every technique that he knows of, and let's just say Merlin likes to put everything into practical use. Shin excels in many arenas of magic, including defense, dimension, earth, and enchantment magic. He has even shown potential enough to level cities with one singular blast of magic and destroy opponents just by casting a single spell. His dimension magic involves releasing gates which lets him communicate with other worlds, and his defense magic can cast barriers to stop even the most powerful attacks. I told you, he's the most powerful grandson of all time. Number 2. Taichi Nishimura, Isekai Cheat Magician. He's being called as a cheat magician for a reason, folks. Taichi possesses an immense amount of magic power and is categorized as a summoner. As a summoner, Taichi has the power to summon spirits and tap directly into the power of the 4 elemental forces: earth, fire, wind, and water. This also allows him to augment his physical abilities and increase his strength. One of the skills gained from this is the spirit-enhanced abilities, such as Downburst. This allows him to summon fiery tornadoes that pummel any large opponent down to ground level. Unlike others, Taichi possesses magic powers only in a certain subcategory, but he excels at that given subcategory, making him overpowered. And last but certainly not the least, Number 1. Moroha Haimura, World Break, Araya of Curse for a Holy Swordsman. This list wouldn't be complete without Guardian of the Holy Sword and the Lord of the Netherworld. Moroha Haimura may be a normal, good-hearted, kind person, but that's before he goes berserk. The Saviors in Akane Academy is divided into two factions, named Shirogane and Kurama. Shirogane has the ability to manifest weapons, and Kurama can manifest magic for defense purposes. Moroha Haimura is a person who awakens the power of both a Shirogane and Kurama, making him overpowered and stronger than many other academic students. As I mentioned before, he was hailed as the Ancient Dragon, strongest swordsman, and guardian of the Holy Sword, which should be enough to show you just how much power he has within him. Have your doubts about the anime all you want, but don't think twice about hiring this man as your bodyguard. I know I won't. And there you go, 10 magic users who can blast their opponents to bits with fire, magic, or even mecha technology mixed with magic. There is always something cool about seeing a character show off his power by beating the hell out of his enemies. That said, make sure to stay tuned by subscribing for more awesome content like this, and I'll see you in the next video.